Hi everyone, a very good evening to you all. All of you say hi. Guys, am I audible to you? Hi guys, am I audible to you? Hi guys, welcome to this session on Introduction to Java and Object-Oriented Programming. And myself is Sagar. I am the trainer for this particular topic today. And please subscribe to Let's Upgrade channel. And this is the video which we are going to discuss on the basic fundamentals of Java and the corresponding functionalities, how to work with the Java applications, and what all about Java, like why we should learn Java and what are the features in Java, and we'll also work with the different simple applications, of course. But before that, let's see how many are logged in already. Like Devendra Kularkar. Hi Devendra, how are you? Anusha, are you from Telugu speaking states? Are you from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh? Guys, am I audible to you? Hello. Hi, good evening Kiran. Good evening Amrit. Amritesh Mishra. Very good evening. Ratan Ram. Hi. Guys, please type in the text whether am I audible to you or not. Hi everybody. Am I audible to you? My voice is audible to you guys. Is it audible? Some trouble. Please respond to the chat. Hello. Hi everybody. Am I audible to you? Please respond. I welcome to the session of Introduction to Java. A very good evening to you all. Please let me know whether my voice is audible to you. Hi Shubhangi. A very good evening. Hello. Hello. I see. Okay, I'm not getting in the response. That's why I'm just waiting for it. Acha, acha. Okay, 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 fine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Hi, guys. Vishwa. Good evening. Well, guys, let's start our session today. In this session, we are going to learn about what is Java and what are the features about Java and why we should use Java language. As you might heard about Java technologies and some of you may have some knowledge about Java or some are having some programming knowledge whatever. But whenever we work with the Java, first of all, we need to know that the what is Java, why Java, how to use Java, when to use Java, and where to use Java. So all these five questions we should have in mind that to learn any kind of technology. Any technology for that matter. You might have worked with multiple languages, or you might have worked with some little bit of programming code, or you may not have any kind of computer programming knowledge, but still then, no worries, you will be learning Java technology right from the scratch. Even for the novice also, there is no specific restriction that why to use Java and how to use Java and so on. Right. Let's work with the. Let's see how Java is being used. And I'm taking into consideration that each one of you are completely new to Java language. That's why I'll start my session right from the scratch. And before actually learning to the Java and so on, we will have a real-time scenarios like, say here, the pre-digitalization era. In the pre-digitalization era, we used to go to the shopping malls and we had to pick up the required stock, and we go for the billing, and then we need to pay it, and we'll take the stock along with us. Similarly, we used to queue up in front of the banks to get any kind of transactions from the banking. That can be for you may want to withdraw cash, or you want to deposit the cash, or you want to take some kind of DDs and so on. We need to queue up in front of the banks. Also, whenever you want to go for a long tour, maybe abroad or maybe anywhere in India on business tour or on the holiday trip. So we used to go to the travel agents. Earlier, there are some kind of travel agents, and these travel agents will be supporting guys to get the tickets and to book the hotels and to book the resorts, and booking the guides and assigning us to the guides to the destination place. And all these three examples, to go to the shopping mall and getting the goods purchased, and to go to the bank and getting the work done, and to go to the travel agents to get the tickets booked, all these are involving the human intervention. Understanding, guys? With this present generation, all are getting worked with automation, but with your previous generation, maybe your parents or maybe some of your elders used to get their works done manually, and the bank services will be rendered only the customer goes to the bank and getting the work done. And now with the post digitalization, this is how we work with. we can do all these tasks like going to shopping mall, getting your banking transactions done, or getting your tickets booked. Everything we are able to do that at the comfort of our homes using the smartphones, internet, web, laptops, tab, PCs, and so on. Similar to that, any kind of task that you want to perform, suppose you want to transfer the funds, you can open your banker app from your Android phone. At the same time, whenever you want to perform or whenever you want to go for a registration or to book the tickets for flights, tickets for the railways or tickets for the buses, whatever, we use the corresponding apps. So for every work, we do have an app. Even to play also, we do have an app. And whenever you want to communicate, we can communicate through WhatsApp, where WhatsApp is an app which is an extension of your normal short messaging services, where we can add the videos, we can make the phone calls, we can have the images, and all this information can be shared. So all these tasks, our daily routine, daily tasks are being performed within seconds of time because of this digitalization. And to perform all this kind of digitalization, there are different kinds of languages. There is every possibility that every one of these tasks is involving some of the programming languages or the supporting technologies, something like Java. Okay, somebody is chatting here. Well, guys, please let me know whenever you have any confusions or whenever you require more clarity on the topics which I discuss. Please just enter in the chat box that are you comfortable with my voice and with my flow. Please let me know that. Guys, are you comfortable with my flow? Is my voice audible? Are you able to understand what we discussed about the pre-digitalization and the post-digitalization? Hope everybody is comfortable with that. Let me know if you have any kind of issues or you find some difficulties in understanding some of the terms. Well, thank you guys. So to perform this kind of everyday operations, we require some kind of programming languages. And these programming languages like Java, if you use Java, all the applications, all the functionalities can be performed using Java technologies. Guys, you can observe here, there is Java coffee cup here. We'll see why this coffee cup is made as a logo for Java technologies. Now going to the agenda, first we discuss about what is the introduction about Java. That means what is Java, why Java, how to use it, what are the features of Java, and as we have so many technologies available, why we should use only Java, why not the secondary technologies. And then we also I'll also let you know how to install JDK, the Java Development Kit, or the Java softwares, and also to install how to install the Eclipse. Eclipse is a kind of a software where we write the Java code and we run it. And also we see the very first programming in Java. So these are the actual agenda. So about the Java interaction, the features. After knowing about Java interaction and after knowing about the features of Java and why to learn Java, we'll get the crystal clear clarity on Java technologies, and you can also make up your career with Java as well. Let's begin the actual session of Java with different terminologies and different histories. So guys, we know that Java is a high level programming language. You guys might have already heard about Java is also an object oriented programming language, platform independent programming language. Java supports multi-threading. You might be hearing about these kind of jargons, but I'll take you gradually to that particular level. But initially, just think that Java is a high level programming language that of C and C++. But here you can see the definition here. Java is a high-level programming language used for developing all types of applications. Understanding, guys? For developing all kind of applications, we can use Java. The types of applications means Android applications. Means by using the phone which is on the Android operating system, all the Android apps which are placed in the Google Store is a kind of application. It's a mobile application. And earlier to networking, earlier to internet, people used to work on the personal computers, the PCs. Actually, PCs are having the hard disk, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and so on without having any network connectivity. Say, for example, if we take a real-time scenario, we know that every employee will get the salary at the end of the month. For any company for that matter. And if the company is a non-IT based company, if a manufacturing company or if a real estate company, you name any company for that which is a non-IT industry, they are also using computers to get their work done faster. Because we hardly find an office without a computer systems nowadays. Because technology is completely widened and non-IT companies will also using computers. But in that, the computer need not be connected to the network. Network means one particular person will send a file to the other person, and from that particular file will be shared to somebody else. That's what we do in the networking. But if you take a payroll system where the employees' salaries are being calculated, these payroll system will not require any network resources. The software that was developed in Java will be installed in a particular system, and one or two people are authorized to work with that particular system. So that what happens? The details about the employees login, logout, their number of days of attendance, all these are being utilized or entered in the system, and the employee salaries will be calculated and the salary statement will be appeared, and also everybody will be getting the salary slips. And these details will be there. Nowadays they are depositing the salaries of employees into the banks, but earlier people used to give the salaries by cash in hand. This is one type of application. The payroll system is one of the kind of applications which does not require any network, and that application is what called a stand-alone application or desktop application. That means stand-alone. It itself is depending on the system itself. It does not require any network, and usually we call it desktop application. That means earlier the people who are not very familiar with the computer systems, so these softwares are installed on the desktop. The shortcut is installed on the desktop. By double clicking on that, the application will open by entering the employee details and generating the statements of salaries and generating the payslips. That's why they are called as stand-alone applications or Windows applications or desktop applications. And as the network is keep on improving, at that time there are some kind of applications where we are working with the web technologies right now, but whereas web or internet is also part of a networking. For example, whenever you want to work with the banking application, we require a web server and we require internet connection. And we don't know what the softwares that are used by your banker, but these web applications or these kind of web services are being utilized so that the user will enter the user ID and password, and user is unaware about the softwares behind the scenes, the architecture behind the scenes. Once they log in, so a screen will appear by their name. So by showing the name, it gives the confidence to the customer that I logged in only to my system, so nobody is hacking my account. And after logging into the banking application, they can transfer the funds, they can pay the LIC premium, they can pay the Airtel mobile bill, they can transfer the funds from one banker to other banker, they can make the electricity bill payment done. All these are being performed by using the networking resources, where the system should support with the network connection. You require network connection. Once it is connected, all the transactions are being done using some kind of applications, where these applications are called as web applications or the internet applications, World Wide Web, what we call. So this kind of applications are called as web applications. Standalone applications, web applications. For to perform these two applications, you won't require two different softwares. You won't require two different technologies. You have only one software called Java. Getting my point? Using Java, you develop the standalone application and also the web application. And nowadays, we are able to work with the Android applications, Android apps, or Google Play Store. From the Google Play Store, the app is available. The app is available. You are not going to write any code for the apps. Suppose you want to download a banking app, the app is available in the Google Play Store, and you search it, select it, and download it, install it. Installation means what? You are making a one more copy of that particular software. Observe here, I am very clear about it. The software is already developed, and this app is already placed in the Play Store. And from the Play Store, every Android device will be downloading the a particular app. That means what? This app is written only once. One time the app was written, and you can run it on any Android based machines. Guys, I'm taking Android as an example, but some of you might be using iPhones or other kinds of mobile phones as well. But I'm not degrading anybody who is using iPhones, but I'm taking the example of Android phones because most of the people are using Android phones. That means one time the application is being developed. Suppose you take HDFC Bank mobile application is developed only for once. But how many are using? Every customer, everybody. Even though you are not a customer, you can just download it, and whenever the account is activated, then you can perform your transaction from your mobile phone. Means what? The technology is there in a small device in your mobile phone. That feature here we are calling it as write once, run anywhere. Hope you're getting it. So that's why I'm saying that you're developing all types of applications. And Java was created by James Gosling, this gentleman, in 1991 for Sun Microsystems. Now, the Sun Microsystems has been taken over by Oracle Corporation. And by 1991, you might be knowing that there are so many technologies out there in the market, and the computerization is picking up at a rapid speed. And still then at that time, James Gosling had a different motto. As there are so many applications are available, and network applications can be developed using Unix and C technologies. And why every time we have to write down different codes? Say one particular code for one particular system, and in the mainframes, if you take mainframes will have a different system, and desktop will have a different configuration. But how it would be an application that will work in both the mainframe systems, supercomputers, and also with the desktop machines. So that was the single motto what Gosling had at the time of developing the application. So that motto was write once, run anywhere. One time you write the application, run anywhere. Anywhere means on a particular any system, and being it's a computer system, it will have an operating system. In fact, a desktop with Windows, a laptop with Linux, or desktop with Linux and laptop with Windows means your system configuration is different and your operating system is also different. So that taking the power of Unix, taking the power of Windows, taking the power of Sun Solaris, of different kinds of operating systems, how it would be developing targeting a particular operating system and developing one of the modules of the application. Say in the banking system, fund transfer needs more and more security features, and Linux operating system is providing more security compared to Windows operating system till now, and in future also the same security is being provided. How it would be, the fund transfer functionality, only the fund transfer functionality of the banking application is moving on to Unix platform where Unix operating system itself is secure, very well secured, and there are a lot of security functionalities are available, and your fund transfer functionality is also required, which requires more security. So how it would be, my Java in Unix operating system based computer will be writing the module for only fund transfer, only for fund transfer. The bill payment you can use with the security of Windows itself will be sufficient. But for the fund transfer, the problem is that you require to reach the banker's IFSC code, and the beneficiary need to be successfully added. Unless until this beneficiary is successfully added to your account, to your list of beneficiaries, you cannot perform any fund transfer. And moreover, nowadays with most of the banking transactions, fund transfer is a very common function. For example, an employee will get the salary into his account through the fund transfer, and it is so sensitive data and that should be so secure, so that one fund transfer application is being utilized in one particular system. So that system, let's say Unix, but that particular, you write the code in Unix, but that code should also be executed in other kinds of languages, in other kinds of systems as well. So in that case, that particular code you can port into a system which is having Windows operating system, and you can very well run it. In Windows, you need not rewrite the code. You need not reinvent the wheel. There was a saying, don't reinvent the wheel. Like that, in the Unix based system, the fund transfer module of online banking is done. Hope you guys are following me clearly. Yeah. Oh yes, here I got one query. Devendra Kulakar is asking that if we write the code on Windows and copy it into Linux, will it run? Yes, yes, Devendra, it will certainly run. That's the beauty of your Java technology. Call it write once, run anywhere. You write the code in Linux, and copy the code after compilation into Unix system and Windows system. In the Windows system, you do have Java as well, and the code what you write in Unix will be executing in Windows based system as well. Java will be installed in both the systems. Only thing is that you don't rewrite it. It was already written in the Linux platform, and you run anywhere. Anywhere means what? Now I want to run using Windows, and the same code you can also run by using Mac OS, and the same code you can also run by using some Solaris operating system. Some Solaris, Mac OS, Windows, Linux, all these are the operating systems, and in all these operating systems you can download Java and you can very well install it, and you can also run it. And if you take the one more real-time examples where we are very frequently knowing about the electronic appliances like washing machine and a microwave oven. Getting my point? Can somebody say what are the common functionality of washing machine and a microwave oven, guys? Anyone can say that? What are the common functionalities of microwave oven and washing machine? Yes, let's be more interactive as well. Yes, say something. I don't want the exact correct answers, but what are the answers you entered? Let me know up to what extent you are following me. Yeah, that's fine. Let me continue. Washing machine is having a timer functionality. Timer. You set the timer to washing machine. Say 15 minutes is the time to wash your clothes. Similarly, whenever you want to bake a cake, put that in the microwave oven and you set the timer of microwave oven. Yes, you want to bake for 15 minutes and you want to wash the clothes within 15 minutes of time. Well, Tanuja, you're giving a response here. Runs on instructions, yes, based on the time. But here, my question is, what is the common functionalities of washing machine and the microwave oven? Both requires a timer functionality. Yeah, good that you're responding to my questions as well. And both are having the both are having timer functionality. So for the washing machine, 15 minutes it has to run, but the time has to be calculated. And for the time functionality, 1 second is 1 second and 1 minute is 60 seconds. Similarly, in your microwave oven, 1 second is 1 second and also 1 minute is 60 seconds. So there is not much of the change in that. So James Gosling's motto is, why should I write the timer functionality to tick the clock for 15 minutes for both microwave oven and also with the washing machine? So in this real-time example of the devices, it was Java based code. Yes guys, trust me, it was the Java based code which is embedded on the microprocessor of all the modern electronic devices for the purpose of timer functionality. One time they have written and they tested it, and the same they'll manufacture in the two different microprocessors. The code is embedded. The one microprocessor is embedded in the washing machine. The second one is embedded in the microwave oven. That's why it's called as write once the code and run it anywhere. That is not only for the microprocessor level, also for the Android systems and also for the desktop applications, also with the web applications as well. Well, Divya, you're asking about the Python. Is it platform independent? But I'm not having much idea about Python. But let's continue with our Java technology. And good that you are doing a question. Let me research on this as well. Thank you so much. Let's continue. And Java language was first named as Oak because at the time of naming this particular application, there is a oak tree in front of the James Gosling office. For that reason, they are calling it as oak. And at that time, people identified that there is some other technology like oak. Then they decided to change that particular language name as green. The very first Java project was named as green, so the language also named as green. But at that time, the green project idea is like making the code available in the microprocessors. The washing machine example, what we just discussed. So this kind of code which is written for the electronic devices or the smart electronic devices, that particular at that time, till that time, the Java is being made is named as green because that was the first successful project by Sun Microsystems. And later on, they did not happy with the name and they named it Java Coffee. And instead of having Java Coffee, because Java itself is a coffee flavor, so why to name it a Java Coffee? Let's name it as Java only. That's what the decision is taken in 1995. And actually, you can find out the Java as a coffee cup and a hot vapor there, because at the time of naming that language as Java, they are having coffee that is of Java mocha. Like we know that cappuccino and we know that espresso, like that. There is Java. There is a coffee flavor by name Java mocha. So instead of having Java mocha and all, they identify the Java as more convenient name, so that they named it as Java as a language. Hope you're clear, guys. Any questions up to this extent? And here, hope you are clear. And before going to the next session, we should have a basic idea about two technical terms here. So only two technical terms called as source program and bytecode. Source program is the program what you write in Java, like C program, a printf, main function and all. Like that in Java also we write the source program. So this source program is called as the program written in Java language is called a source program, because before developing a code we have to write the code. So once you write the code, to write the code you require some text editor. In the text editor we use the Java syntax and Java keywords and all that, and then we write the Java programs. And after writing a Java code we need to compile it, because the system will understand only the machine language. Even today the system will understand only the machine language. So conversion of source program into machine language is called as compilation. So after compilation, you will have the machine code of Java, and the machine code of Java is beautifully coined as bytecode. It is being called as bytecode instead of a machine code or instead of object code. They are calling it a bytecode. Just remember these two terms, guys, because the further slides are also depending on these particular terms as source program and the bytecode. And these are few features of Java. And we came to know that Java is a technology that can be used for application development. Just a second, guys. No. So we know that Java is being used as a platform independent programming language. It is a for write once, run anywhere. It can be used for different kinds of applications. That we have seen that different platforms and different applications like standalone application, web applications, and also mobile applications and so on. We came to know that yes, Java is like this. But my question is, why we should use Java? As there are so many technologies are already available. If a new phone comes into your, if a new smartphone comes into the market, will you purchase it blindly, or you'll see the features that yes, these are the my picture quality is good or not, and my is it having two or three cameras or not, is it having a popping up camera or not? All these features we identify and then we decide to purchase. That means what? These features are the motivating factors. Yes, as you have mobile phone, you want to change the mobile phone, you will not be happy with the same features which are available in the old phone, same that of the new phone. Definitely we expect some new features. Agree with me? Similar to that, why should I purchase a brand new a phone by brand name X or Y? What is there in Y, what is not there in X? And what are the new features of the same brand of X, X1, X2, X3, like iPhone, I10, I11. What are the new features of I10 to I11? We know that picture clarity is best, and look and feel is the best, and video quality, video streaming is the best. But still, what are new in iPhone I11? Like that, as there are so many technologies are available, and Java is also having its own counterparts like C Sharp and so on. But why only for Java? There should be some kind of convincing factors, guys. The industry want to invest less, and the productivity should be more. Similar to that, the very first and foremost feature is Java is having a simple syntax and very easy to understand. Trust me, guys, I felt very comfortable with Java compared to C++. C++, I'm a bit uncomfortable still today because the syntaxes is not that catchy, but of course it's also a powerful language. But the syntaxes of Java is so simple, and there's no ambiguity which are there in C++ in terms of Java, and very easy to understand. Even a novice can understand. That's what I'm saying there. I also trained for so many people from non-IT background, from mechanical background also I trained with Java. They can easily understand only because of the simple syntax. It's not only my style of delivery of the lecture about Java language, but also as Java is so simple in terms of syntax, it's also one of the factors. And Java is secure because we require secure softwares. If you take C or C++, the software will be converting into your .exe file, and exe files are always threat prone. Viruses will be affecting on the exe or com files. But in terms of Java language, it will not create the exe file. It creates only bytecode. And this bytecode, no virus can enter into it. Any Java code which is available right now in the market, they contains no virus, no malwares, or no threats. That is one more beautiful feature of Java. Because for the developers, this should be so simple, and for the clients, the application should be secure. There is no threat, there is no hacking should apply on the Java applications. These two will be simply fulfilled with the built-in features of Java language. And there is a facility in Java to predict the possible errors. Prediction, not the solution. The solutions for the errors are never available in Java language, but Java will be supporting you that you have a flexibility to predict if this is the error. Say for example, you want to get the data from a file, it's from a notepad file. What if the file is not available? So you predict it. You have your own business logic for that. If the file is not available, what action to be taken? If it's available, read it, pretty fine. What if the file is missing? Or what if the file is moving from one folder to other folder? So these are kind of predictions. Feature focus on errors. So it provides the facilities to handle predictable errors. Means if you predict an error, like a file is not available, Java providing a feature that how to face it. And it's not providing any solutions. It provides a facility. Facility is different from that of a solution. Solution is not same that of facility. A kind of locations or kind of blocks will be supported in Java to put your business logic for a specific error. Say for example, you want to calculate the interest rate of your bank account. So you're required to input the percentage of interest. So you dynamically input the data from the console. You'll have a message, please enter interest rate. So you enter the interest rate as 10, 8 or 0.5 and so on. So the interest will be calculated pretty well. But what if I give 0 as an interest? Because you need to calculate the interest as say the bank balance amount into interest is 10%, for example, interest is equal to 10 by 100. Like that you enter your data. What if you want to divide a number by 0? You input the dividend, input the divisor, both the values. If the divisor is 5 and the dividend is 100, your quotient is 20. It performs the calculations, it is giving you the quotient value is 20, and we use the 20 and we continue the further programming process. But we input 100 and you input 5 both as dividend and divisor respectively. What if you input the value 100 as dividend and input the value 0 as divisor? Because we know that division by 0 is not possible. In terms of a C language, you have to extend the code only to take care about if divisor is 0, do some kind of action and you have to navigate the process and so on. But whereas in Java language, you do have a kind of facility. If it is divisible by 0, you need not write any conditions there. You take the facility, you identify the facility. My facility is division by 0. So that particular facility you can utilize, and what you want to do there. Please enter non-zero value as divisor. Okay, and then you can send it. Because in terms of your registration into your Gmail, what if you don't enter the mobile number, or what if your email is not valid? It will be giving a message, please enter the correct email ID or the correct phone number and so on. How it is possible? That is being validated. Same kind of validations you can perform with a different predictable errors. Suppose you want to calculate the average grade of a student. What if the maximum mark of one particular subject is 100, and you are going to enter the value as a non-100 value, maybe 99 or maybe 110. At that time also you have a prediction of that, and you have to provide a solution for that. And the solution we can identify with a simple solution, but that solution you write in a separate entity which is out of the actual flow. That's what I call as robust feature. Robust means, the English meaning of robust is rich in. Yes, all the predictable errors, maximum number of errors can be predicted, and you can provide some solutions for that. Understanding, guys? Okay. The fourth feature is platform independent. Here you compile the code, compilation happens on one system and creates a bytecode, and this bytecode can run on any machine with any operating system. So for here I am mentioning the Mac OS, Windows and Linux. Yeah. And if you write the code in some service based Java, and that code you can run in Macintosh system, also with Windows, also with the Linux. That's what called as platform independent. The platform means it is the operating system platform. It's not your business platform. It's not your Java platform. People will call, yes, I'm working on a Java platform. But actually, technically speaking, Java platform is the technology platform, guys. And the this platform independency is belongs to your operating system. Operating system is a platform. Means the platform, the operating system on which Java application executes is what the platform. Linux platform, Windows platform, and some Solid platform. Suppose if somebody asks you that on which technology you're using, I'm working on Java. On what platform? Then you have to say that I am working Java on Linux platform or Windows platform or macOS platform. That's what the feature is what called as write once, run anywhere. Is that clear, guys? So we are slowly getting into the actual benefits of Java, why we need to execute that. What are the features you have here? These four features are nowhere available right now with the current technologies. The syntax part, the security part, and robust and so on, the platform independency. Of course, there are some features of Java also there in Python, but not all the features as such. But the applications that is targeted for Java is any application. If you take your Python can be used for machine learning or artificial intelligence, robotics, and so on. But in terms of your Java, you name any kind of application or any type of application, you can develop these applications using the Java language. Hope it's clear. Yeah. Yes, let's continue. Look at here. What is happening in this diagram? One lady with multiple number of tasks, and beside that you have an image called system. System is performing different applications there. One application with the white background with the blue title bar, and one is the orange title bar, and one application with the bullets and the presentation, and in the tab also you are having some kind of graph which is being seen. These are called as multitasking process or the concurrent execution. Means working with multiple tasks at the same time is called as concurrent execution. In terms of Java, every task is called as a thread. Don't get confused about what the thread is, what is this new technology I never heard about it, and so on. In Java, every task is called as a thread. If we use multiple tasks, we say that multiple threads. While developing the application, we will not call that as a task, but we call that as thread. So the feature of multithreading helps Java to do multitasking, which is also known as concurrent approach. If you take your C language does not support concurrent approach. If you have 10 tasks, all the 10 tasks has to execute one after other. Task 1 first, task 2 second, task 3 third, like that. Task 9 followed by task 10, which consumes more amount of time. Unless until the first task is completed, the second task cannot be started. So if the first task is will take some 5 seconds of time, all the 5 seconds of time your CPU or the operating system resources are at idle state. So that after completion of the 5 seconds of time, the remaining processes are on the waiting state. In terms of multi-threading, as the current systems are available to multiple processes, multiple number of cores, like i3 core processors, i5 and i7 and so on, you do have different layers in the different microprocessors. So 2 or 3 tasks are assigned to one microprocessor, and another 2 or 3 processors assigned to the second microprocessor, so that all these tasks will be performed all at once, which will be saving the application's execution time, which is more important, because every customer wants n number of tasks, hundreds of tasks, thousands of tasks to be executed within a very minimal or very short span of time. That's the basic requirement of the client or a customer. Similarly, in Java also, as Java will be utilizing the multiple processes, and the task will be assigned to different process called as, and this task scheduling will be done by the CPU, and that CPU will receive the tasks which is being sent by JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Because at the time of running the application in the Java runtime environment, there is Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine will be sending the task to CPU. So CPU will be taking care about the task, and it will be identifying what are the processors are idle, and to that particular process all these tasks will be sent, and the acknowledgement will be given back to JVM. JVM will be giving you the idea that yes, your task 1, 2, 3, 4 all is execution is completed, and then ultimately you will be getting a result. Right. So these content approaches will be executing one by one. Instead of using one after other the execution of the applications, it executes all of them at once, which is to increase the overall efficiency. Because if you take a mobile application, or if you go for Gmail, after giving username and password, how do you feel if the inbox opens after 5 minutes of time? After 5 minutes of time, means we'll get frustrated and we'll get a lot of issues and all that, and we'll not feel comfortable in that. That is one of the basic feature of any application, not only Gmail. Any application that is working on the computer systems will be utilizing this time space. The efficiency will be measured in two factors, guys. One is the speed of the application. Second one is consumption of memory space. Less memory and fast execution will be your speed of your applications. Even though you have some hundreds of apps in your mobile phones, and every app will perform with the just like that execution. That's what called as efficiency. And this efficiency is the very predominant factor, predominant quality that should be there for every application. And that efficiency is achieved in Java language by using multitasking or the multi-threading feature. Got it, guys? Well, hope you guys are listening patiently, and let's conclude with the remaining features of Java. Java is also called as a portable language. Portable means what? You can port it. Take the Java code into any system. Look at the image here. We have normal desktop, and this particular system is the old Apple Macintosh desktop. The CPU is also there in the monitor itself, and this is one of the mainframe computers architecture. So we learned about platform independency. Platform independency like Linux or Windows or Macintosh, but all these three are desktops or the laptops. But in this case, we have a desktop, we have a Macintosh system, we have a laptop, we have tab PC, and also mainframes, and also the supercomputers. In mainframe computer, which is not same that of a desktop, this desktop will have Windows, for example. This desktop architecture is desktop, but the platform is Windows. Here the architecture is mainframes, but the platform is OS 360. So it's out of operating system of mainframes. So what happens here? As we know the power of mainframes and supercomputers, some very secure and fast kind of tasks, the batch processing tasks, are historical data. So like whenever you want to get the data of 10 years banking transaction in a short span of time, if you work with desktops, it takes very less time. But the same thing, if you work with mainframe computers, you will get that in very short span of time. And that's also one of the features of your application. So this kind of process will be taken care by mainframes, and that module will be executed by mainframes, and the other module will be executed by the desktop, and so on. And ultimately all these applications execution will be connected to networking, and the customer or the client will be getting the exactly the expected result. Understanding, guys? So here, to work with Java applications, your operating system is not a constraint, and your system's architecture, like desktop with i3, desktop with i7, desktop with i5, or desktop with Intel Celeron, whatever it is not a constraint for the Java applications to execute. Also the system configuration. The systems are having different configurations, different architecture. We can also call Java is architectural neutral. Architectural neutral means the system will have a different operating system, different architecture. The mainframe physical architecture is different, the desktop's physical architecture is different, and the Macintosh physical architecture is different. And you can have one more desktop here or one more laptop here. In this laptop and also with the desktop, you may have the same operating system called Windows. But here the platform is same, but here the laptop and the desktop architecture is different. Even though the Java application is a portable applications, the portable language, it can also run on any hardware architecture. If it is a computer system, you can straight away sit on the computer system, download Java, and you can work on that. Not only for the platforms. And now there is something called the bytecode that is run by the interpreter, where this interpreter name is Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine will be occupying its own memory space, and it will not allow any malware or any viruses coming into the picture. So the Java Virtual Machine will have a different architecture which makes your application so secured, and the Java runtime environment. You compile the bytecode, you compile the code 1, code 2, code 3, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. All these combined together, and the central system will be executing your applications developed in desktop, mainframes, Macintosh, and with different operating systems. And the central system is having a separate interpreter called Java Virtual Machine. The Java Virtual Machine will be executing all the bytecodes from different hardware architecture based systems, and also with different kinds of operating systems. So with this, we came to know about Java is a simple high-level programming language in terms of a syntax, and it is a secure programming language. You can also predict the errors. It is a platform independent, and the concurrent execution is being performed by using Java technologies, and the term is called as a multi-threading. So this concurrent execution will be executed in association with the operating system's resources, and also Java is architectural neutral. Fine. Now let's move on. Here we find that Java is an object-oriented programming language, or Java is a high-level programming language. But before that, let's say what is an object and what is a class. Because every code that you write in Java will be in the class, and it's object-oriented. That means for the real-world objects are related to your application. Object is related to any real-world object. That can be a car or employee, bank or smartphone, whatever. All these are the objects. And every object will have state, means data or properties. If you look at the example here, you take a car for example. Car will have an engine. It's a property of a car. Car will have a steering wheel. It's a property of a car. Gearbox and the model of a car and the color. All the other data members, which are the properties. And object will have behavior. If you take an engine will have engine number, engine fuel capacity, and the function of engine is engine will start, engine will stop. And the steering wheel, you can rotate the steering wheel, and you can change the gears with the whenever the gear is changed, the gear in the gearbox will perform a different function. So if you take a human body as an object, we have eyes and we have nose. With eyes we watch, with the nose we smell, with the nose we breathe. So breathing, smelling is an action which is there in our body, and the breathing and smelling we do with the help of nose. And we watch different objects or around us with eyes. Eye is a property of a human being. What I will do, I will watch a particular object with the instruction of a brain. But here the properties and also the functions which are combined together. That's what basically called an object. Don't think much about an object, just see that the car will have the properties of the different parts. Every car part is called as a data or the properties. And what you do with the part, the steering wheel, you rotate the steering wheel. Brake, you press the brake lever, you change the gear. Gear is available, gear rod is available, you change the gear, and you start the engine, you stop the engine, switch on the audio, touch the touchpad, and switch on the AC. All these are different objects, and also it having their own functions. That's why here if you look at the image here, the class, it's a car class. Car will have the model here, make, the brand name and the model. And these are the cars. These cars are objects. Sonata car is also having year, make, model. Caprice is also having year, make, model. Benz will also have year, make, model. All of the common properties and also the objects. So here class means every object is classified. To put that in a nutshell, we can say every object is classified. That's why we call a class is a blueprint of an object, a design of an object. And also it is also called as a classification of an object. Car is classified. Say Sonata is an object classified under car. We can also say that in a different way, that car is a class by using which Sonata, Benz, car price objects are manufactured. It's a kind of a design. It's a kind of a design. So we take a employee, for example. Employee is a class. Employee will have ID, name, job, salary. Employee will log in with ID. Understanding, guys? Employee will log in with ID. ID is the property of the employee. An employee will log in, employee will work on the projects, employee will conduct the meetings, and employee will log out. All the other actions. And to perform all these actions, you require some data. Whenever you want to log in or log out, you require the employee ID and the other credentials. And whenever you want to work on the projects are assigned to employee. That means employee will do a project. Who will do the project is a specific employee. Say Mr. Ram will work on the project. So they will not call that with a name as Ram, but they identify with the employee ID because employee ID is unique. Like that, frequently these objects will have, remember 2 points, that objects is always relating to the real world objects, and these real world objects only we write in the code. I'll give it different kinds of examples, but I want you to understand at this particular juncture that every object is a real world object, and these real world objects will be writing in the Java code. And to use the real world objects, we require a classification, and that's what called a class. Yeah, there are some kind of questions are also being answered by Yogesh. Yeah, Tanoja is asking some questions, Rishabh is asking some questions. Devendra Kulakar is also asking that weekly sessions will be of all Java concepts or different subjects, something like that. Good that you are having some kind of interaction, guys. And also, along with the topics, if you have any clarifications or any doubts, so please do chat in the chat window so that I will be having an idea. Right now, as there no questions are showered so far, I identify that you're clearly understanding these concepts. Thanks for that, and pay attention on this, and let me know if you require any further clarifications on this particular topic. Fine. And to put that in a nutshell, we have the striking features as Java is object-oriented because the real-world objects are being used in the Java applications, and it is platform independent, secure and robust, and also multi-threaded. Among all the other features, these 5 features are the striking features. That's why I'm especially mentioning that as a striking features of Java. So with that, we have seen what is Java, and we have seen who invented it, and what are the purpose of Java, what are the features of Java, and different kinds of applications, and how the automation took place in our daily life. Now let's move on to why we should use Java. Because we know the Java features and so on, but there are a lot of researches going on till today, and there are different kinds of surveys which are happening. And as per the survey in 2016, Java's market share was 53%. Imagine, it is more than half of the share of PHP technology, Ruby technology, Python technology, and also Node.js. So there are some companies which are making some kind of research, and they'll have different kinds of survey, and they'll come to a conclusion that the other languages which are having utilized more in the year 2016, out of which the Java market share was 53%. It's not a vague figure. It is the figure of 53% is refined by having a lot of survey across the technologies, and this also across the global. One company made a share here. because I felt to show the this particular image so that you can also relate to the importance and the future of Java programming language. It is not the figures which I written. It is a survey, and the survey is, how the survey would be, and survey has to be certified. Survey has to be approved by NASCOM as well in India, and all these are done, and then they'll publish this particular market share in 2016. Hope you're clear, guys, because I feel that there is a saying. I believe in a saying that I don't know how many of you heard about this. Seeing is believing. Correct? Seeing is believing. That's why I'm showing you this particular practical research, a practical survey on this. And I'll also show you one more survey here. There is a company called TIOBA. And guys, please don't ask me the full form, because I'm also not know about the full form. But I got this information from different companies. I interacted with different companies, with Oracle and some other people of my colleagues, and I collected that information here. Where the TIOBE is a company that had conducted a survey based on the usage of different programming language in the industry, and this is the survey made from 2001 to 2019 till the latest one. By 2019, these are the actual scenarios. In that also, you can see on top of it, Java is having its share of 16.25% among all the other technologies, right from Groovy, Delphi, Objective-C, Ruby, assembly language, Swift, SQL, PHP, and all that stuff. That's the reason why Java is still there in the market, and the different features available and more flexible also with the different technologies. Alright, so I'm giving you two different proofs to believe, two different surveys on the market share of Java language. And here, whenever you want to work with Java, of course, we know that we need to install JDK, and whenever you want to install JDK, you can look at the image here. You can say download JDK 8. You can type download JDK 8 for Windows 10 or any other Windows operating system with the 64-bit or 34-bit or 32-bit, whatever. And in that, we click on this particular. I encircle the link here, Java Archive Downloads. Click on that. It takes you to a separate downloading page, to this particular page, and after here you will find this particular link as Windows x64, JDK 8U, and so on. That's the most preferable version. This is for Windows x86, and this is for Solaris. After here, for Solaris you have different flavors, and for all the different flavors you do have different set of JDK, different kind of Java software. And in this also, if you scroll up in this particular page, you will find even other operating systems as well. And here we have Windows x64, and we have Windows x64 exe, and that if you download it, there's the latest version. And after downloading it, if you click on that, it shows you this particular window where you need to check the I reviewed and accept the Oracle binary license code and all that. Click on that, that will be downloaded. So once that is successfully downloaded, if you click on the setup file, so there are some of the screenshots which will be showing you when running it. If you click on next on the first image, it will be asking you about the development tools, and click on next, it will be giving you extracting installer, and then the destination folder is like usually all you accept all the defaults. So the destination folder will be shown by default as C: program files, Java, JRE 1.8, and so on. Just leave it as it is and click on next, and it will be showing you that 3 billion devices on Java, but still then this number is drastically increased to 6 billion, 7 billion devices in fact. But during the earlier versions, during 2016 or 17, I installed my JDK 8, which is showing this kind of screenshots, and ultimately you can click on that. So this is how we install Java language. Guys, any questions as of now? Oh, Devendra is given on kind of information that TIOBE stands for the importance of being earnest. Oh, so great, Devendra. Thank you so much. And along with Java, we should also install Eclipse. Eclipse is called IDE, stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated means combined together. What are combined? You have a text editor, you have compiler, you have interpreter as well, and also debugger. All these functionalities are added together into one particular software called as Integrated Development Environment. Development. For the development of the application, different features are integrated. That's why it's called as IDE. And if you click on the link, you can see this particular screen, and you have 3A packages as well. And once you specify the 3A packages, and if you click on that, you will go to the next screen. In that, you especially check the Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. Understand here, Java EE developers, because if you download this, then only you could work out with all applications of standalone applications, web applications as well. And I click on this Windows 32-bit, 64-bit. If you click on that, the corresponding Eclipse will be downloaded, and the downloading of Eclipse is not like your setup file, it's a zip file. Guys, it's a zip file. Unzip it. In that you will find Eclipse folder, and in that Eclipse you will find eclipse.exe application, and if you click on that, the Eclipse will be loaded. And this is an example of Java application where everything is to be written in Java, in Java as in the class. As we have seen, a class is a classification of an object, but here we are not declaring any kind of object as of now. I just want to show how a typical Java application looks like. There is something called a class called test. In that we require a main function, and don't think about what is public, what is class, what is static, and what is void. As the sessions are moving ahead, we will be completely working on what exactly is that. Public static void main, it's a kind of a syntax. It's a kind of a syntax which is being utilized by Java JVM. Like in terms of Java C language, we use int main or void main, like that. So in Java, it is public static void main, string or guess. It's a kind of a syntax. Don't think anything about this. If you know, it is pretty well fine. But if you don't understand this, just see that it's a main function to be there in the test application, test class, which is to run the Java code. In the main method, we are having system.out.println. As we have system.out.println, hello world. Now you understand that print, something you printed, hello world is a kind of a message. You can very well understand hello world because it's a string. It is not a keyword. If the keyword, you'll have a different perception. Like static, my god, what is static? Void, what is this void? Like that, your hello world is a kind of string, and this string we're going to use. This string we are going to use to display it. To understand this, first you see hello world. Hello world will be printed. Observe here. Hello world will be printed on my output device of my system. I repeat, hello world will be printed on the output device of my system. That's why the complete statement is system dot, means in my system, out on the output device called monitor, print hello world ln, display new line. After displaying hello world, it should display in the new line. And using Eclipse, you did not write in using hello world, you did not write the complete application here. Using Eclipse, you give the class name and select the main method. The class name and the public static void main open brace and the closing brace will be given you as a template. Yes, Devendra is asking about why Java is not a fully object-oriented programming language. Yes, Devendra, I do understand that. Whenever you want to write the complete code without taking a class and objects, you can write the complete code even in main language, in the main method. But how many lines of code you write and how do you maintain the application? Why Java is not a fully object-oriented programming language? Because for simple application, you can also write down the code like this in the main method. In the class itself, you can write a multiple number of methods, and but all the methods should be declared as a static. And for one particular application, you will have multiple number of features, multiple number of resources. Yes, Devendra. But you take a banking application. I want to develop the banking application not only for the execution process. You need to think about how to maintain the code. In future, earlier there is no automation. Then there comes the automation systems in the banking only, where people has to go to the bank and the bank employees will be entering your details on their system. They have different softwares available, and later on there comes the online banking, and after that there comes the mobile banking. So these are the gradual updations. So whenever you have these gradual updations, how it would be thousands of lines of code or millions of lines of code is available in a single class called test. Getting my point? Say in the same class called bank, you write public static void main. Again, you write the method to perform the withdraw transactions, fund transfer transactions, uh, deposit transactions, bill payment transactions. Like that, your number of transactions will keep on increases. Whenever the user wants to change the password, the change password has to be done in a separate way. So imagine the number of lines of code if you write that in a single class called test. And whenever you write the complete code in a class, your code is very transparent. Yes, your code is very transparent. Every other developer can identify what the code you have written. But if you follow strictly the object-oriented programming, you will be developing only one particular module, like developing, say, withdraw module and deposit module. These two modules you develop it. So that as far as withdrawals and development is concerned, you will have a complete focus on what is to be done, what are the validations, and what is to be secure. And somebody will be interacting with the databases. Like that, one particular banking application, there are n number of developers working on the particular system, so that everybody will be focusing on their particular functionality, even though the dependency of the modules are available. And while developing an application or while developing a software, don't just think that application has to be used only for short span of time. Once you take the application or the software will be should be available for what we can say generations together. Even after 100 years of time also, the same software should be pretty well worked. So during this 100 years of time, imagine the number of updation, number of modification, number of deletions of the code. How could you manage that by writing everything in a single class? For that reason, Java is not Java will be supporting you to write the multiple number of classes. So you take module wise, every module will have a different classes and different objects. So all these objects will be utilized in a separate classes. I hope Devendra, you got some clarity on this. Please comment that in your chat box how far you understood about how far I justified your question by giving the explanation about whether the Java is no why Java is not the application language like. Now let me show you guys how to write the Java applications using an IDE called Eclipse. This is the very first session about introduction. You understand about what Java is, what are the features, and why Java has to be used, and what are the share of Java in the market, and the sample application you have seen. Now, let me give you some example on how to write Java code in Eclipse in a live environment. Let me switch back to Eclipse. Once you load Eclipse, Eclipse looks like this. And to write Java applications in Eclipse, we have to create a new project in Eclipse platform. This Eclipse is Eclipse Oxygen, guys. And to run that, click on File, New, and Java Project. Java project. That means it's a Java 1 application. In this application, we are going to write a hello world application which you have seen on the presentation. So then the project name you can say hello world app. Guys, the naming conventions are very important here. Hello world app. When I say hello world app, that is the project name. Means we have some clue that okay, this is Java application which is deal with something with hello world, maybe displaying the hello world or some other classes. Click on next. It shows that hello world app is created here. It will be created and you'll have a SRC folder. This is a project structure in Eclipse, especially for Eclipse, and click on finish. Yes, here a project is created. You can observe here you have J, means it is a Java project. Click here and you have SRC. Right click on SRC and now you create a separate class. So new class. Let us say the class name is hello world. The application name is hello world app and the class name is hello world. And you can see here public static void main string argues is available. Just click on that so that you did not type the complete statement. Public static void main string argues, you did not type it. Click on finish. See here, you are getting the class called hello world. In that public static void main string argues is also available and a comment is also given in this. This is a skeletal structure, or we can call this as a template. We can call this as a template. I just maximize this. Let me increase the font, windows, preferences, general, appearances, colors and fonts, Java text editor. Click on edit. Increase font size to 18. Okay. Apply. Yeah. Apply and close. So here you have a comment. If you want to write some other comment, you can write some other comment, or you want to remove it, you can remove it, or you want to leave it as it is, you can also leave it as it is. And here we can type the code called system.out. It's loading. Yeah. Type here system dot. You can find out in the sessions. Out, enter. Again type dot. You will get different methods here. You search for print and you'll find print long value, print integer value, and so on. Let's display a string here, println hello world, and end of the line give a semicolon like other programming languages. So here is your class, and to run that, click on run and run, or you can use shortcut as Ctrl F11 as well. It executes the code, and here you will be giving a message, and there is a separate tab called console. In the console you got the message called hello world to display this kind of message. Suppose you want to debug it, you want to make the modification as hi, you make that as hi, save it, again run it, you will get the message here as hi world. So this console, this particular tab at this particular frame will be displaying automatically whenever you start running the application. Any application that you want to start, the application's execution will always start from main method. And here, whenever you want to see the line numbers, you right click on this blue vertical tab, click on show line numbers. The line numbers is visible for our understanding. It's not compulsion that to see the line numbers. These line numbers is a feature of Eclipse, but we need not type the line numbers in the code. One more question from Devendra. No, Devendra, it is not the correct answer. The language that supports primitive data types can't be fully of object-oriented programming language, so it is not the reason at all. Because even though if you take the object-oriented programming, without data, how you communicate? Suppose if you take an employee object will have ID, will have name and salary, and the other data members. Even though you take an object, or if you take a class, we define a class. In the class, so we write the data in the methods, and we create the object and we run it. Object or the class are one of the data types, but it's not that that supports primitive data types and can't fully object-oriented programming language. No. If you take the definition as object-oriented programming language, what do you mean by an object, Devendra? Object will have data and operations together. Objects will have data and operations together. And when you define the data, in the data you do have declare the primitive data types. Even though you can declare the strings, you require some primitive data types. Every object will have some properties like employee object or bank object or the book object or even the customer object. Every customer will have data of it. So that particular data we are using in a class. And without using primitive types, you can't expect any Java application for that matter. It is not that Java can be developed without using OOP because of supporting the primitive types is one of the reasons. Tanuja, it is also not the correct reason, because if we take an object should have data, and that particular data need to be utilized. That particular data need to be utilized in the class. Instead of here also we can declare variables, but without having the data in the class and object, creation of object is of no use. For that reason, we can say that as Java is supporting the primitive types is it is not a reason that Java will be supporting of it. An object is an instance of a class, yes, but what do you have in the class? You are very right, Devendra, but what do you mean by class. In the class you have data and operations on data, and this class is a classification or a blueprint. Using a class you can create multiple number of instances, multiple number of objects. So every object will have its own data. You take employee, employee 1 will have a different ID, employee 2 will have a different ID, employee 3 will have a different ID. For that reason we can't say that as it's supporting the primitive types, it's not completely of object-oriented programming language. Yes, without objects, you can pretty well write the code. I do agree for that. But if you take an application of a banking or insurance, how many lines of code you write in the same main method? There's a constraint, there's a kind of restriction. And dividing the application to multiple number of modules using object-oriented programming language by using classes, it will be so convenient to maintain the code and easy to modify. For that reason, we say Java is an object-oriented programming language. It is object-oriented. Means we can use objects to fulfill your application's requirement. Hope you're clear, guys. Yes, 100% full OOP language supports primitive data types. Yes, it will support. Even, see, the definition is very simple as object-oriented programming language. So in that we use objects, and we're giving reference data types. Here your object is one of the reference data type, because we say that for every object you do have a reference. Object-oriented programming language supports primitive data types. Yes, because in the if the language is 100% OOP, what do you have in the object? Object is an instance of a class, and what do you have in the class? In the class you have data and operations. And what kind of data you will have in that? The data is of objects data. You take employee, employee ID, employee name, employee salary, where ID is int type, salary is float type. For that reason, any object-oriented programming language will also needs primitive type. That will also needs the primitive type. Okay, that's how the Java application looks like. Just give me 1 minute break. I'll back with the next session called Object-Oriented Principles using Java. So that's about the introduction to Java language, guys. Just give a 1 minute break. I'll be back in 1 minute. Hi Devendra. Uh, I'm very glad to get the responses like you. Ask as many questions as you can. Get it clarified. Feel comfortable. Feel comfortable. And yes, for sure you will improve in Java. There are a lot of misconceptions in fact. And once we start the real sessions, then we're going to clarify all these kind of doubts. And Yogesh, your doubts are genuine. I really appreciate that getting such kind of doubts means you are doing some kind of research on Java. I really like it. Yes, these features, yes, Devendra, these features we're going to discuss. Well, guys, thank you for giving me a break. I hope you know some idea about Java language. Let us see how we implement this. We're talking about a class, object, writing the code and all. In the Hello World application, I just introduced only the message how to display Hello World to get the comfortable level. Because in this, by using Eclipse, we identified that we create the project and we create a class name. We are given the class name, but we did not type it as public static and the class name Hello World. And we did not type the public static void main string arrays. We just mentioned that as the normal process, and system.out.println is a common method and which also having a very crystal clear meaning. System, current system, out on output device dot print something, the message is hello world. Now, as we know that Java is an object-oriented programming language, and in the previous slides we have seen about what is a class and what is a method, what is a object and all. Let's move on to object-oriented programming features. How object-oriented programming is implementing using Java. Even though many of you might be knowing about Java language or some are very new to it, I'm writing, I'm giving you the inputs in Java right from the scratch in a steady pace. I hope that I'm not very slow and I'm not so fast. Any inputs are always welcome. And now let's move on to object-oriented programming by using Java language. Guys, are you ready? Well, now let's move on to object-oriented programming or object-oriented paradigm. Paradigm means it's a kind of a style. How we write the code. We write the code everything in a class. And in C programming language, we write the complete code in the main function. And we write some other functions. All the functions can be accessed in the main function, where there is no security in that. But with this object-oriented programming language, not the security or not the multi-threading or not the inheritance or polymorphism, you might have heard of the different kinds of jargon, blah blah blah. But the very idea about object-oriented programming is that you relate your real-time objects only we are going to write in the code. How it would be as you are communicating with customer that customer we are reducing the interest the bank loan interest rate to 7%. That's the kind of communication where your banker will be communicating with you or the bank representative will be communicating with you. The same process in the programming style, we specify that there is a bank customer interest rate, reducing the interest rate or fixing the interest rate to 8%. So this we communicate as if we are communicating with the bank or as if we are communicating with the object. By writing the Java, you can visualize that yes, I am directly interacting with my bank representative, I am directly interacting with my bank manager, or I am directly interacting with my bank account, where people are supporting me to perform different kind of transactions with more security and so on. And I want to give some communication to them that as my mail ID is changed or as my address for communication is changed, let me focus on that. And to whom I need to send the address of communication, that has to be sent to the bank object but not to the account object. If I communicate to the bank object about my change of address, then the bank object will have a communication with the account object, and later on if I log into my account, I can find out my new address is updated. Like that, while writing the code also, you feel as if you are interacting with the objects. Yes, I take that into consideration that whenever I write from banking application, I visualize that the bank is there in front of me. And I communicate that it is a common communication with all the users. And the bank, oh, this bank is having an ID, bank is having a name. Oh, my bank branch is available in some other location. So let me get the IFSC code of this particular bank, which is unique. Like that, I adapt, as if I'm interacting with the bank resources. Now let's have a quick start with the notifications. यस देवेंद्र, मैं कोशिश करूंगी इसके लिए. ठीक है, लेट्स सी. The agenda is classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and practical examples. So the practical examples means, matlab, what are the objects we use? These kind of objects we are going to utilize. Everyday object, I take the mobile phone as an object as a practical example, and how the mobile phone functionalities will be in Java language. So as we have some basic information about class and object, let's see what a class is. You take OOP. What is object-oriented programming? It's a methodology or a paradigm to design a program. Yes, we design the program using classes and we use objects to execute it. You take the object here, the real world entities that has their own properties and behavior. Yes, you name any object, guys, you do have some properties of objects and also having some behavior. And take a class, for example. Class is the blueprint from an object. Properties and behaviors are decided. If you take a building, for example, building is an object. The building, what you see is the object. But behind the building, there is a blueprint, there is a plan. Whatever the Audi car you see, that Audi car is the object. But behind the Audi car object, what you see, there is a design. Luxury cars are having different kinds of design. And hatchback cars are having a different kind of design. Like that, we design the objects. Very simple. We design the objects. Objects are similar to real world objects like smartphones, employees, students, bank accounts, cars, etc. And they have their own properties and behavior. You take mobile phone. Mobile phone is having a property called the brand name, storage capacity, RAM capacity, number of cameras, screen size. All these are the properties. What the functionalities of smartphones? Make a call, send WhatsApp chat, take a video, take a photograph, send a mail, interact with other applications, and so on. All these are the functionalities. Every functionality is associated with the property. You take a smartphone, for example. We want to send a message in WhatsApp. What you do? You touch on the WhatsApp. WhatsApp is an application. So if you touch on the WhatsApp, it will be showing you all the contacts. Means what? The contacts of the data. To whom you want to pass on the message. Suppose you want to send a contact to your friends. You search for the friend name, touch on that. Then that particular friend name is identified. How it was identified? Because the WhatsApp application is having your friend's name or the number. Getting my point? Friend's name and number. If you touch on that, a text box will appear. Type in a message. Hi buddy, how are you? Kaisa hai? So such kind of communication you can perform it. And if you touch on the button, that object, that message is now an object. Think guys, the message what you send is an object. The image what you send is an object. And every object will have their own properties and the behavior. The behavior is a kind of actions and can be grouped into categories. Category means the class. Smartphone, what a smartphone should have? Properties, methods, and the functionalities like that. That's what for your classification. You think the object will have ID, object will have name. You draw the design of your front design of the mobile phone, back design of the mobile phone, what functionalities of the mobile phone, all these you design it. It's a kind of a plan, as simple as that. You plan it, execute that. In terms of Java, we plan the objects and through objects we execute the functionalities. Look at here your favorite mobiles. As you guys are working with multiple number of mobiles, I also added iPhone, Nokia phone and also Samsung phone. These are objects of smartphone. Means all these are the smartphones under the classification of smartphones. There is a common feature for all these three which are called as smartphone. It's not the basic what they call the button phone. It is not your ting phone. It is a smartphone. They have their own properties like manufacturer, yes, model, storage capacity, the screen size, all these are properties. And what you do with the mobile phone? We can make the calls, action. Sending emails, action. View images, action. Or the functionalities. Chat through WhatsApp. I didn't mention here as chat through SMS because all of us are very much familiar, very comfortable with WhatsApp messages. And click a picture, a selfie or a normal picture, and sometimes we want to see what is the storage of the storage, the remaining storage, the capacity which is available. And these phones are classified as smartphone. We can say smartphone is your designing concern. Smartphone is your blueprint. Smartphone is the class. Similarly, if you look at the design of a car here, and you can see the car here. If it is a vehicle is a class having tires, steering wheel, engine, gearbox, touchscreen, audio, and so on. And its behavior is accelerating, increase the speed, change the gears, touch the screen, play the music. All the other behavior of the actions. I'll give one more example on the class and object. Here the class is a student. Student is a class having name, age, color, sex, or gender. And what the student can do, he will eat, drink, running. And don't get wondered guys, I did not mention here studying. Being a student, for sure he will study. So student is a classification, but he is a person who is a student. It is a class. And the state is name, age, sex, and color. Because the name will be the same, age will be changing for the next year, color will be same, and the gender will be same, and the class will be changing for next year. And every student will drink, eat, and run. But the way they drink, the way they run, the way they eat is different. But every student will drink, every student will run, every student will eat. Based on the student classification, here you can find some three kids. These are the objects. Objects of what? Student. The first boy is the object by name Peter, where name is available, here also name is available. His name is Peter, his age is 3, his color is white, and sex is male. What Peter can do? The Peter's properties are Peter, 3, white, and male. And what Peter can do? Peter can eat more foods because eating is one of the functionalities. Peter can drink more water because drinking is one of the functionalities. And Peter can run fast, running property. And the same behavior, same states are also there for the second object called student by name John. John, 4 years of old, brown and male. John can eat less food. John can drink more water. John can run slow. But Peter will eat, drink, run. John will also eat, drink, and run. And also Julia, a female student, will also eat, drink, and run. So all these objects will perform the same functionalities in a different styles, and every object is having a different properties. This is the state of the objects, and they are the behavior of the objects. And to identify these kids are the students, these kids are classified. Yes, these kids are classified as student. Hope you are clear, guys. And now also, all of you guys are listening to my session. You are the participants, and you have name, you do have age, color, and gender, and somebody will listen to my session in a different way. Somebody will get their doubts clarified by chatting. Somebody will get their doubts clarified by mail, and somebody will listen fast. Some are slow learners, some are fast learners. But ultimately, what you do by the end of the session is everybody will be listening to my session. So you are the participants. Your participants, your objects of participants. And tomorrow you may be the object of a customer. And you may be the object of a student, or you may be the object of employees. But that's what comes under the classification. So that's why we call that a class. Objects are same as real world objects, yes. And Java object has both state and behavior. So this is the object. This object of name, age, color, all these we defined here because we design the class, we design the object, like your blueprint. The blueprint of a mobile phone, you design the blueprint or you design the mobile phone. Based on the mobile phone, you manufacture the multiple objects because you will not find only one iPhone i11. iPhone i11 was designed by adding more number of features, but it is not that only you purchase a mobile phone. You have some millions of mobile phones of i11 are manufactured. All i11 mobiles are the objects, and who are purchasing those mobiles, they are the mobile is the property of individual customers, but everybody will have the same functionalities and the same properties. Hope you are clear. Let us check with one example. I'll take an example of a class by name smartphones. I create a new project, say class and object app. I'm not clicking on the main method. Sorry guys. Let me create a new project. New project name. Open class object app. You can finish. Yeah. Right click on this. Click on new. Let's create a class by name smartphone. Just a minute. So for the smartphone, you can have the properties like manufacturer, model, storage, and screen size. Let's declare them first. Here, manufacturer, model, storage, and price. These are the properties of a smartphone. Every smartphone will have manufacturer's name, model number, storage capacity, and the price. Manufacturer and models are the strings because we enter characters in that. Storage is having is of identity type because whilst the capacity of 64 MB or 128 MB like that, but not 64.5 or 64.9 like. And the price of the smartphone can be of floating type, which may have a different prices, and we can also add multiple number of prices for a multiple number of phone. The price can have a fractional value. And let's have three functions. One is the setting of values and clicking on the click picture and show storage. So let us write down the methods here, means the functionalities. Public void set values. Guys, don't get confused. Just the method name is set values and we are just assigning a values, but we are not getting any value in return. That's why we are giving void. Say manufacturer is equal to Apple, model equal to i11 Pro, storage equal to 128, means is a 128 MB. Price equal to 65325.75. Yeah. Give a suffix character as F here, which indicates that it's a floating point type. And write one more method. These two initial the values. That's why we are giving a method name as set values. And see that your variable names and methods are self-explanatory. Don't give vague variable names like A, B, C, X, Y, Z and all. Because once you read the code, even a novice should be able to understand what the actual functionality of the code. Say show price. Expense. System dot out dot println price of smartphone equal to say price. Right. Let us write one more method. Say take picture. If you take a picture, the picture will be stored in the mobile phone, and with the picture will also consumes the memory space in the mobile. So let us say it occupies 2 MB of memory space, so that the storage has to be updated as storage equal to storage minus 2, means 2 MB is occupied by that particular picture. So here, as if we are interacting with the smartphone, we are giving a name as a smartphone, and we find which smartphone, which manufacturer, storage, and the price. And who is the manufacturer? Apple, because nowadays all the current generation people are so crazy about the iPhones. So I'm giving that as i11 Pro. Storage is 128 and the price. So these are the properties and these are the actions. Look at the code here. Set values means assign values. It's a kind of a verb. A function is a kind of a verb. Hope you're understanding, guys. So this is the class which is defined. Okay, my iPhone 11 will have these properties and these are the actual functionalities. Now In this class, we have not given any main method. The application is ready with the class. Now we have to create the object of this class and we have to we have to call the methods. So in the same, right click in the default package and give a new class. Being it a smartphone, I'm giving a class name as main smartphone. That means this class is having the main method, so I'm checking on the public static void main checkbox and clicking on finish. It shows with the main method and so on. Now you create the object. Create the object as smartphone with a class name. iPhone is the reference or the name of the object. New means I'm creating a new object. Smartphone. Now object is created. And with the object, if I type iPhone dot, you'll have the data members here: manufacturer, model, price, storage, and also some other methods. And the methods, whatever you have written, is set values, show price, and take pictures. Click here, set values. This time iPhone dot, type TJK, the method is visible there, and press enter. You need not type the complete method. iPhone dot show price. Set values, take picture, and show price. 3 different functionalities. So what we do here, we create the object, and the main method does not know what is the business logic behind the set values, take picture, and show price method. Now if you run that, set values method will be invoked, which will be assigning all the values, and then show price will be showing the price of the smartphone, and take picture, you'll have the storage here. And how do we know that the 2 bytes of or 2 MB of space is consumed? So for that, let us write one more method, public void show storage. And here type sysO and control space, you will get the shortcut here, sysO and control space. Storage is place storage. Storage is storage. So now what we do is, after setting the values, let's call show storage. And then take a picture. After that, again you call show storage. So that initially it should show 128 and after that it should show 124, 126. Hope you're understanding, guys. Hope it is clear. So here in the main method, we just have no clue. What we know is there is an object is created of the class called smartphone, and the class is having the multiple methods, and we call the methods or we invoke the method as per the sequence. We call the methods and we invoke the methods as per the sequence. And I'm running the application. Your expected values is show values, it shows all the values, show storage, take picture, again show storage, and show price. Let's see what we have in set values. All the values are set. Whatever the values are set, all the values can be displayed. Here we are displaying the price. The price is 65325.75. So 65325.75 will be displayed with this show price. Take picture will be subtracting the values and it will be showing you the storage. So if you run that, first method is set values. The values are already set. Show storage. What the storage is here? Storage is 128. Then take picture. What happens in the take picture? In the take picture, we are subtracting 2 bytes from the storage variable. So that got updated. And what the guarantee or the confirmation that this particular storage is reduced? Again, you call the same method called take picture, which is called as reusability. We are not rewriting the code to display the storage which is 126. Again, if you select take picture and then storage, show storage, now you can find the storage as 126. Show price. The price is of smartphone is 65325. Hope you are getting it. Like that, you can create multiple objects. Say this is in the main smartphone class itself, you can create one more object of customer. In the customer, you can use the smartphone object and smartphone functionalities and a customer name and so on. The customer object you can create in smartphone where the customer object will be accessing the smartphone object as well, and that method chaining and the object functionalities can be made automatically. ClearGate, that's how a class and an object will be created. Classes are designed, objects are created in the actual execution environment, and then once the object is created, then you can call all the methods. You can look at the example here, the same example I have given. Set values, click picture, and store, show storage. Hope you're clear, guys, about the smartphone. Like that, you can create the objects of the student, employee, and so on. First of all, you should be very clear that what are the data available and what are the actions. That's how a class and object both are associated. While looking into the code, you feel as if you are interacting with your Apple phone. Next one is a constructor. If you look at the example here, we are taking a separate method called set values. Instead of setting the values, we can write down a separate class, a constructor here, where a constructor will be executed as a part of your object creation, so that we did not have the explicit method invocations. And as you have a method in the previous example as set values, I can call the set values as many times as I can. But in the set values, what we use is we are initializing all the values. Instead of the set values, if you want to, because the values are set only for once, the values are set only for once. And being is a method, in the main method, I can call the set values method as many times as I can, which is of no use. Because the values based on your application's requirement, based on the business needs, the data has to be assigned only for once. That's how you construct it. Only one time the construction has to be taken and the functionality has to be made multiple number of times. If you construct a building, for example, you have a blueprint of a building, and in the building you have all the water pipe connections and all. One time you construct it. One time while constructing itself, you set up all your pipe connections. And once you establish the pipe connections, every time you did not say that every time you need to add new pipes to it to make the water to flow. Once you construct it, and then we can reuse the building. How many times you want to use, you can reuse the building, and you can fill the water, and through pipes the water will flow. But the construction of the building is only once. Like that, an object can be created and the values can be assigned using a constructor. I'm just commenting this code. And I create a constructor here. The constructor will have the same name that of a class. So smartphone is the class. And the same name that of a class. And you assign the values. So at the time of calling the smartphone object, at the in the main method here itself, all the values will be assigned. So at the time of calling the constructor itself, all the values are assigned, where you can reduce the investment of one particular method literally for the purpose of setting the values. I'm just making the setting the value as a complete comment. Constructor, by as the name itself specifies, the constructor. Once again, yes, as there is no set values, I'm also commenting this. The meaning of a constructor, as the name itself suggests, it constructs the objects. Means it builds the objects. As the definition is already given, it builds the objects. So at the time of building the object, the required values, the fixed values what are available, you can attach them to the constructor. The values which are attached can be, which are fixed, can be assigned to the variables as a part of the constructor. Now if you run the code in the main method, you will not find any kind of variation. You will get the same result. With method or with the constructor, the result is the same. So the constructors are building blocks or the actual elements which is to initialize. Here the constructors are to initialize the variables or initialize the data. That's why the definition is that constructor is a block. Block means having opening braces and closing braces, which is a block. Is a block of assignment statements. Assignment statements, guys, not any other statements. It is only the assignment statements. Only assignment statements. So the value of Apple is assigned to manufacturer, iPhone Pro assigned to model, storage, and the price. So the same code is available here. Even though the set values are commented, but still the code or the application is running as expected. That's how we create the classes and we create the objects, guys. Hope you're understanding it. I'm taking the real-time object called a smartphone. In the smartphones, whatever we have in our hand, we're having the functionalities similar to this. Yes, exactly. Maybe the storage, you can see it, or you can see the picture. Once you take a picture, and again you can check with the storage, definitely the storage will be reduced. That's how you relate the real-time objects into your application. Well guys, let's move on to the next topic. I'll complete a bit faster. This is called as encapsulation. Encapsulation is a separate feature. Means the code and data is bonded together into a single unit called an encapsulation. Just like a capsule. In the capsule, so you do have the formula in the capsule, and if you consume the capsule, the functionality will take place. And this encapsulation we have already achieved. Just now we already achieved encapsulation. Look at the definition here. Encapsulation is like a capsule. The whole code and data is bonded together into a single unit. Single unit. Where you have data and code, guys? Somebody can say that. Application, you have the code and data together. Yeah. If you look at the class here, so data is there within the class and your functionality is also there within the class. They are not separated, unlike your C program. In C program, your data, you can declare the data above the main function and also in the main function. But here, all the data is declared within the class. So class itself is having the data, so that this particular data is secure. Yes, the data is secure. And also the functionality, all combined together in one particular element, because the real-time object, why this particular concept of encapsulation? The reason is the real-time objects is having the data and also its functionalities. In your mobile phone, you can see the Apple logo. That's what the property. And the storage capacity is the property. And the functionalities. So you can run with multiple number of applications, and you can take a picture, and the space will be reduced. And if you remove some of the videos or images, the storage space will be increased. Like that, both are included together in one particular element. That's why it's called as encapsulation. To put that in a simple terms, encapsulation is achieved by declaring a class. On the other hand, we can say if the class is declared, the concept of encapsulation is fulfilled. The concept of encapsulation is fulfilled by declaring a class. Reason behind is class will have data and also operations on it. All are available here. Yes, you have data here, and of course with the constructor and the functionalities, all combined together in one particular action called as encapsulation. That's why if you look at the capsule here, by looking at the capsule, we see the medicine, and the medicine will function once you consume it. You won't require the medicine has to be separated and you need to consume. Both them, if you have a medicine, that implies that the same medicine will also get functional. The functionality of the medicine will be done once you consume the tablet. But you are ensured that the medicine is there within the capsule. So capsule is having the medicine, and if you consume it, it starts working with the ailment. That's called encapsulation. And the encapsulation is a protective shield of data and operations. Yes, because if you look at the class, the data and methods are not separated. They both are combined together. And the class fulfills encapsulation. Data and code is enclosed in a class, as we have already seen. The benefits of that, the better control of the class attributes and the fields and the methods combined together. At the same time, the class attributes can be made read-only or write-only. So what we do is we can modify the data or we can read the data. And it makes Java code very flexible. So any method that can be changed without changing the other methods. Yes, this particular point, guys, especially we have done with the by adding the constructor and by removing the set values. So here what happens is only constructor functionality is added, but the remaining methods are remained unchanged. There is no effect. There is no side effect of this particular method. That's what the benefit of encapsulation. Well, guys, let me take a call now. Recording data. Hope you understood, guys. If you define a class, that's what your encapsulation. The benefits are you can have a better control of the attributes and the methods on the same class, and the class, the code is flexible, and if you make a modification of one particular code, the other methods will not make any kind of changes. Now let's see what the abstraction. Abstraction is hide the complex implementations which makes the software perform smooth functionality. Even though the definition is so bigger, let's see the smartphone application. See here in the main method, you create the object and you call the methods. That's it. See the definition now. To hide the complex implementations which makes the software perform smooth functionality. Complex implementations are hidden. Means the main method does not know what is the business logic behind show storage, the logic behind take picture, and logic behind show price. It knows that there is a method called take picture, there is a method called show storage, there is a method called price. So these methods are being called. Means just giving instruction that you show me the storage space, and I want to take a pic, so I'll take a pic. So these instructions, we don't know how the picture functionality is being performing in the mobile phone, and we don't know which code will be reducing the capacity of your mobile's memory space. But what we know is what to do. Touch it, click a picture. So once you click the picture, it will be reducing the memory space. So we know that the memory spaces will be reduced, but we don't know the clear idea and the logic behind how these particular pictures are, how this memory space is reduced. That's what called as abstraction. In a simple terms, I can say that specify what to do. What to do is call the method, but not how to do. You're not given instruction to display the storage capacity in the main method. We don't know how to do it, but we are specifying that what to do. What to do is show storage, means show me the storage of the memory space. That's the abstraction. The internal details of the show storage we don't know, and in fact the internal softwares of the Android application or Android phones will be performing your functionalities, but we don't know the complexity of the code execution. Same thing happens in terms of your abstraction in Java as well. The end user is not interested how the code was implemented. We are nowhere concerned about how the picture is taken, how the message is sent. What you know is type the message, instructions, send the message, instruction. But how to send it is completely depending on the software or the application available. That's what I call abstraction. Even though if you take your daily objects usage, if you book a ticket, for example, we don't know how the tickets are being booked, but we give the proper information, and we don't know how the amount from the bank will be deducted and will be sending to the IRCTC. But we know the top level abstraction. You click on the pay, the amount will be transferring from your account to the IRCTC account. That's what we know. That's what called abstraction. But internal details are hidden because the end user is not interested to get the internal details, and the end user will be focusing on the execution, whether my work is done or not, task is done or not, the payment is done or not, like that. In this main smartphone class, as we have seen, the main method is implementing this kind of features called as abstraction. So with this example, we have seen the class, we have seen the object, we have seen the encapsulation. Once your designing of the class is completed, the concept of encapsulation is internally automatically done, because encapsulation will have this kind of features. Encapsulations will have these benefits. And what we do by just declaring a class, we have to create the objects of the class here, so that we deal with multiple number of objects. We interact with the objects as if you have the mobile phone in front of you. So we are creating the smartphone class object in the main method, and my smartphone is iPhone. That's why I'm giving the name as iPhone. I will not giving the name as ABC XYZ iPhone. Suppose you have a Motorola phone, for example, you can say smartphone Motorola equal to new smartphone. So Motorola dot take picture, as if you are taking that picture from the Motorola phone. You have a feel here while typing the code itself, so that you literally feel you are straight away interacting with the real object of smartphones. That's what your implementation with the encapsulation as well as the abstraction. Abstraction, we know what are the functionalities are being performed by the objects, but we don't know how they are being implemented. We just know that what is to be done, but not how it is to be done. I hope you guys understanding these concepts. Any questions here? Welcome guys. This is the actual topics of this presentation. We discussed the introduction, and also we have seen the basic object-oriented principles like class, object, encapsulation, and abstraction. Let me know your feedback, and please subscribe to Let's Upgrade, and let me know any kind of instructions or any kind of feedback and any clarification you require. Please enter that in the chat, and any feedback is appreciated from your guys. I hope that you understood the basic concepts of Java and what are the concepts, why it is object-oriented programming and why it is abstraction. Thank you guys. That is the conclusion of this present session. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm also Very happy that some of the participants are putting their questions across, and I feel as if I'm directly interacting with you people guys. It's a wonderful experience for me, and I hope the same is with you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and thank you for your participation. Please subscribe to Let's Upgrade and also send your feedback. Your feedback means a lot to us. And any kind of expectations you have from my sessions, please do communicate to Let's Upgrade. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. That's all for this presentation. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Cheer up. Get going. Yeah. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.